Hello, Matt here from RetroOnly.com. Today, we'll be talking about whether you can start with a Joker in Rummikub. Before we get into that, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Have you ever been playing Rummikub and someone started their first meld with a Joker? Did you ever think that that was an unfair advantage because you didn't have a Joker? Well, in this video, we will let you know everything about Rummikub and if you can start with a Joker or not. So, can you start with a Joker in Rummikub? It is actually against the official rules to use a Joker in Rummikub when you're getting out, playing your first meld or melds. This is because it gives you an unfair advantage over the people who did not get a Joker when they first drew. If you're just playing for fun and not professionally, you can use a Joker on your initial meld, if all the players agree to it ahead of time. In most scenarios, it's actually better to save the Joker for later in the game anyway, as once it's laid on the table, it can be used by all of the other players. So if you wait to play it, then you will deny them using it for longer. However, you don't want to wait too long to play it, as if someone goes out while you still have it on your rack, then you will be assessed a 30-point penalty. If you want to know more about playing Rummikub and the official rules of the game, you'll want to keep watching this video. Can you start with a Joker in Rummikub? As discussed previously, you can't just start things off with a Joker, but you can use the Jokers after placing your first sets on the table to get out. Typically, you need to have 30 points or more to lay down at once to get out, but once you are out, you can then use the Joker. So, if you have 30 points laid on the table, and then you use the Joker to make an additional meld, that's fine. The Joker just can't be used to give you enough points to get out, though. You will need to be careful to play with some strategy when you have a Joker. Using the Joker tile is a must, but ideally you don't want to leave it available for someone else to use easily. This is why it's important to use it when you think it's necessary, or you feel like someone is extremely close to going out. This is one of the reasons why this game involves skill as well as some luck, and if you have both, then there's no stopping you. How many points is a Joker worth in Rummikub? The Joker is worth 30 points if it's still on your rack at the end of the round, so it is the highest valued tile in the game. However, before someone goes out, the Joker technically doesn't have a value, as it takes on the value of wherever you choose to play it, since it's wild. Once a Joker has been played on the table, it can be moved around for anyone to use, and can be placed in any position as well. Since it doesn't actually have a value, it doesn't have to stay in a specific meld or hold a specific value once it's played on the table. It is simply a wild. If you get lucky and happen to have 2 Jokers on your rack, then you should be able to win the game without any problem. But if your opponent is very skillful, then you have to make sure to use the Jokers with an in strategy in mind. You can't just throw away the opportunity of completely beating your opponents because you didn't plan out your plays properly. If you have even 1 Joker, it can be a great advantage, as you can easily build a meld or 2 on your rack and surprise people when you go out quickly. Of course, there is some danger to this method if you get caught and someone else goes out suddenly, but it is a solid strategy in general. Rules for playing Rummikub. Rummikub has become a popular game over the years and is a great way to have some fun with family and friends. Yes, it is being played all around the globe, and almost everyone loves to play it. The rules for starting the game are pretty straightforward, and you can learn them without any problem. Next is a list of some of the most important rules of the game. There are a total of 106 tiles in the game, including 2 jokers. You can play the game with a single opponent or with up to 4 total players as well. 14 to 16 tiles can be distributed to each player, depending on which version of the game you are playing. To start the game, each player has to draw 1 tile, and the one who has the highest number on the tile will start the game off. Each player will randomly choose 14 to 16 tiles and place them on their rack. You have to put at least 3 tiles on the table in the form of sets or runs, similar to Rummy, and to be able to play, you have to lay down 30 points from your rack at once to get out. Once you're out, then you can adjust other tiles on the table to fit more of your tiles in those sets or runs. The player that is the first person to run out of tiles is the winner of the round, but not actually the winner of the game. To win the game, you have to be the first person to reach a predetermined score, normally 200 to 300. When you win a round, you will get a positive score of all of the tile totals that were left on the other players' racks, and they will get a negative score of what they had left on their own rack. For example, if the 3 losing players for a round had 20 points left on each of their racks, the round winner would have a positive score of 60 for the round, and each player would have a negative score of 20. Another rule is you cannot use 2 jokers in one meld at any point of the game. Is Rummikub hard to play? No, Rummikub isn't hard to play at all, but it does require thoughtfulness. All you have to do is to understand the concept of the game and practice a bit, and you shouldn't have any problem playing against people. Many people play Rummikub that are young, as well as those that are elderly, and it is also played by just about everyone in between. Rummikub is such a fun game, and after a couple of rounds of playing it, you'll probably realize that the game is actually fairly easy to pick up. How do you start Rummikub? If you're new to this game and don't know how to start the game, there's no need to worry. All you'll need to do is follow the steps mentioned next to learn how to play and have a better chance at winning every time. First of all, you have to check how many players are you playing with. There are only 4 players that are allowed to play the game at one time, unless you've combined 2 games or have purchased the Rummikub game that allows 6 people. Once you've decided the number of players, then you will count if you have a complete set of 106 tiles, including the jokers. Now, mix the tiles for around 30 seconds, and make sure that you mix them face down, or in a tile bag that comes with some of the games. Now, you can distribute 14 to 16 tiles to each player, or simply ask them to randomly choose those tiles. Players can look at their own tiles only. It is cheating if you look at the tiles of any other player of the game. Now, all of the players will have to draw a single tile, and the one who has the highest number tile will start the game off and go first. The game will proceed in a clockwise direction. The setup and beginning of the game is not that hard, and is fun for everyone who is playing the game. Can you play Rummikub with more than 4 players? According to the official rules of Rummikub, the maximum number of players that can play the game are 4, with 106 tiles containing 2 jokers and 4 different colors. The numbers that are written on the tiles are from 1 to 13, and there are only 2 copies of each color. Playing with more than 4 players isn't ideal, but if you want to play with 5 or 6 players, you can purchase a Rummikub game that has more tiles and racks so more people can play, or you can simply combine multiple games together. Do you pick up every turn in Rummikub? If you don't have any tile to play when it's your turn, you'll have to choose 1 tile from the pool randomly. If you have a set or run that you can lay down on your turn after you've played your initial meld or melds to get out, or if you can play on someone else's meld that's been laid down, assuming you are out, then you do not have to draw a tile on that turn. The only time you will need to draw a tile is if you cannot get rid of at least 1 tile from your rack and play it on the table on that turn. Besides that, you will not need to draw in the game at all. Now that you know when you play officially that you cannot start your initial meld or melds to get out with a joker, you can play the game the proper way. No matter how you play, the most important thing is to follow the rules and to always have fun. You will want to make sure that you don't cheat and that you abide by the rules of the game. If you do this, everyone can have fun playing Rummikub, and it will be a time where you can create many great memories that will last a lifetime. This has been Matt from RetroOnly.com. Please be sure to like and subscribe to our channel, as well as check out our website, RetroOnly.com.